You're listening to the Shalom Sports Podcast with Jack and Gerald. Here's your host, Jack Myers and Gerald Hoover.
Greetings, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of the Shalom Sports Podcast with Jack and Gerald. We're here in Season 2, Episode 8, and I'm one of the hosts, Gerald Hoover. I'm joined here by Jack Myers. How you doing, Jack?
I'm really excited for this episode.
Yeah, it's always a good time, and we're happy and excited to update everyone out there on what's happening in Shalom Sports here at Shalom Christian Academy. We're going to talk a little bit about this past week's games, basketball games here at Shalom, as we are in the winter sports season, and that means basketball. And when you mention basketball, Jack, you always light up when I say basketball because that's your favorite sport, and that's what I love about you. You're passionate about basketball, and we're just happy to talk about basketball as well as the other sports here at Shalom and give everybody an idea of what's happening and past and present, and we're excited to have to do that on today's episode. So one note is, and I don't know how many people were aware of this, is this evening we were supposed to travel down to Martinsburg, West Virginia and play at Faith Christian Academy, but we had to postpone those games until Thursday, January 18th. I understand some sickness going through Faith. Then they have like 25% of their student population out due to sickness. And
so that wouldn't be fun for if they had players missing. So wouldn't be fun for them.
It wouldn't be. So we'll look forward to those games coming up in mid-January. So we're going to start on the middle school girls side, and head coach Alan Moore, and he assisted by Patrick Adams, Bart Staley, Micah Gingrich, and Sarah Moore. Girls are playing well this season, Jack. They are 3-0 so far, 2-0 in the MDCC. They've only had one game since our last podcast, Jack. So what happened in that game?
They beat Broadford Christian Academy 33-17. Quinn Staley had 13 points. Chloe had 10 points. Ava and Harper had 4 points each, and Sydney had 2 points. So
some balanced scoring attack there by the Lady Flames as they traveled down to Broadfording this past Monday and got the MDCC victory down there. And then coming up next for our girls, what do they have to look forward to in the next couple games?
Thursday, December 21st. They play at McConnellsburg at 4:45, and then Thursday, January 4th, they play at Mount Etna Christian at 5:30 p.m.
Yeah, so the ladies on the road for the next two games here, like you said, Thursday, and then after the holidays, coming back from Christmas break, they will travel down to Mount Etna Christian, which I believe is down past Frederick, Maryland, if I'm thinking of the same school. So got quite a few miles that our ladies are going to travel before their next home game. So we look forward to talking about what they do in those games in our upcoming episodes. So now we're going to turn our attention to your team, Jack, the middle school boys team, led by Coach Roseman, assisted by Troy Ubers, Jason Wenger. And you guys are off to a great start as well, Jack.
Yeah, this was the most fun game of the season. It was like a really fun game. So it was at Broadfording. We won 49-43. Corbin had 34 points.
Woo!
Yeah, he hit 8 threes.
8 threes?
Yeah,
are you
8
serious?
threes. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, he was
smoking.
He was catching fire.
Oh, my goodness. That's
Spicy
great.
nuggets.
That's right. Hot and spicy.
We scored 22 points in the final quarter, and we're trailed by as much as 8 points in the third quarter, losing at halftime by 1.
Okay.
So
wow. That was an exciting game, Jack. And Broadfording, like us, they streamed their games on YouTube, so I was able to pull up your game at my house.
They had a really, really good kid on their team. So
yeah, I wonder how many points he had.
25. 25 at least.
Corbin still beat him.
Yeah, Corbin still beat him, but he had 25 at least. They had two good kids that could really hoop out.
Yeah, like I was saying, they stream their games on YouTube, Broadfording does, so I was able to pull up the game at home, and I happened to just turn it on right at the end of the third quarter. You guys, I think it was 4.4 seconds to go, you guys were inbounding the ball underneath your basket. And Corbin drained a three from the corner to close the gap. I think you were trailing 32-24 at that point.
Yeah, Corbin.
And then he hit the three, so that kind of gave you momentum going into the final period.
Yeah, but he hit like really deep shot. It was like really far.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, it might have been like an NBA three. I'm not sure. It was like, probably a college three. I don't know, but
It
It
wasn't
was
just
far. It was
wasn't
far.
just right behind the 3-point line.
No,
It was way
it was
back.
deep.
Yeah, he was feeling it that night. That was awesome. I mean, you needed all those points because you only won by 6
So
down
yeah.
at Broad Fording. So yeah, a great game, and like Shalom streaming, you can go back on YouTube to Broad Fording Christian Academy and pull them up, and you can watch that game.
They do it a different way. They have the whole thing together. Like
Yeah,
Broadfording at Shalom, they do every single all the games as
Yeah.
one videos. But I like the way we do it, so it's
You
easier
find-
to find the games.
yeah, find the games easier. It's less clutter on the
Mhm.
dashboard where you can have 4 or 5 games in one night where they just have one.
Mhm.
And but yeah, it's a great resource for people. Like I said, I didn't go
Watching
down to
film.
Broad Fording, but I could watch your games down there, and it was pretty cool to do that.
For the players afterward to watch film
Yeah.
and stuff.
And just even for me to do it right from my living room, that was very nice. So yeah, very exciting game, and so hopefully that gives you guys some confidence heading into your next games, Jack. And who do you guys have coming up?
Well, we have 3 games next week, so that's really exciting.
Mhm.
And Monday we play home at Freedom Christian School at
Mhm.
4. And then at Tuesday we play Lighthouse Christian at 6. And then Thursday we play McConnellsburg home at 4:45.
Man.
And then Thursday we play Mount Etna. December 21st we play at Mount Etna at 6:30.
That's January 4th.
Yeah,
You'll
I got
be at-
tongue tied up
Yeah,
there.
that's okay. That's all right. Yeah, January 4th, you're at Mount Etna at 6:30. So that's a little bit of later game for you guys
Mhm.
than you normally play. But yeah, 3 games next week. You guys are
Yeah.
going to be tired.
Mhm.
But you got Christmas break coming up, so you can get a little bit of rest after those 3 games. But yeah, 2 at home, so that'll be nice.
To home, yeah.
That'll be great. And
The
then-
varsity girls have their first home game in January. So.
Yeah, they haven't even played on our home court
Yeah.
yet, which is kind of weird. But hopefully, yeah, we'll look forward to seeing them in 2024, and can't wait to see them hit our home court. So you guys are listening to the Shalom Sports Podcast with Jack and Juro, and Jack and I are here talking about our basketball teams and what's happening here so far this season. And so we just finished up the middle school teams, and now we're going to switch over to varsity, and we'll start there with the varsity girls, and led by Doug Lehman. He's assisted by Brad Moore, Nicole Diller, and so not going so well there for the varsity girls,
2
but I
and
know
3, yeah.
they've played some tough games. 2 and 3, like you said, overall record 0-1 in the MDCC, but I know they've been playing some tough teams. And so since last Friday, Jack, what's happening there at the varsity girls?
Well, they lost 2 games. They lost to St. Maria Goretti, 46-24.
Mm-hmm.
Chloe Martin led with 8 points. Maya Lehman and Joanna Ream each had 5, and J.C. Keller and Addison Adams had 6 rebounds each.
Mhm.
Maya Lehman, the next game versus Broadfording, they lost 40-32. Broadfording's the defending champs of the MDCC.
That's right. Yep. That was a
My-
tough game for them.
Maya had 9 points, and Chloe Martin and Emily Reebok had 8 points. Addison Adams had 7. So
Mhm.
very distributed through the points.
Yeah, and I just know they're struggling a little bit offensively in their
Mhm.
half-court sets, and I think that's once they get that figured out, I think they're going to turn their
Mhm.
season around. I mean, not going too bad so far, but just having a 2-3 record.
Not what
it's
they
a little
wanted.
Bit, little bit, yeah, not what they wanted, but again, playing some really good teams, and that's only going to make them better as they continue on throughout this season. Their next game, they travel on the road on Monday, December 18th. They're going to head out to Mountain Ridge, which is, I believe, out near Cumberland, Maryland, maybe even slightly past Cumberland.
Yeah.
They play out there at 5:30, and then hit again on the road Thursday, December 21st at McConnellsburg, 6 p.m. And then after Christmas break, they'll travel down to Frederick, Maryland, and play at Maryland School for the Deaf at 5:15. So some exciting games coming up, and then I think, Jack, we might have them at home the first Friday in January.
So that's Friday Night Lights.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So yeah, they may not have played at home yet, but we're going to give them a Friday night game
Yeah.
for their home opener. So we'll look forward to that game coming up in January. So, and I know I talked to Doug the other day. He's feeling good about where his girls are at. Obviously, would like to see more victories, but they're going to figure it out. They've got a lot of experience on that team, and Doug has a lot of coaching experience. So I think there's no worry there yet for that team. So. Next, we're going to talk about the JV boys. Their head coach, Matt Wenger, and JV is 2-0 on the season. And what happened last week with their, I guess it would be earlier this week, Jack, for the JV boys team?
Well, they lost to Rockford and Christian Academy, so I don't think they're 2-0 anymore.
That is true.
Yeah, so they're
somebody messed up on that. That'd be
2-1.
2-1 on the season. That's right.
They play 27-23. We don't have any information about that game,
Mm-hmm.
but their next games they play Monday, December 8th at Mountain Ridge High School,
Mm-hmm.
event at 5:30. Thursday, December 21st, home versus McConnellsburg at 6 p.m. Thursday, January 4th at Maryland School of the Deaf at 4 p.m. So,
So they have a full
Yeah.
schedule coming up as well. And, yeah, we look forward to seeing them at home next Thursday after their away game on Monday. So now our last and final team that we'll talk about are the varsity boys, led by head coach Danley Shank. He's assisted by Matt Wenger and Edwin Martin. So they've had one game since our last podcast, Jack, and what happened in that game?
they beat Brockford and Christian Academy 69-58. They built a 26-13 lead in the first quarter to help propel them to victory. Ethan Hubers led with 29 points.
Wow, 29 points.
Yeah, that's a lot of points.
That
13 of those coming through the foul line. So turnaround from the last game.
Like a complete 180
yeah,
pretty much.
180. And they went 86% from the foul line. So lots of improvement, like lots of improvement from the last game on the free throw line.
Yeah, the previous game Jack's talking about there against Heritage, I think we were 8 for 20. So a chilly 40% from the foul line against Heritage, and they completely did a 180 in shot, like you said, 87% from the line against Broadfording, which was good to see, and I'm sure they probably worked on some foul shots after that Heritage game, I'm sure.
Probably a lot
practice.
of running, too.
Yeah, probably a lot of running. You're right, Jack. You know how it works, don't you?
Yeah.
So what do we have coming up? We got a lot coming up here
Yep.
for our varsity boys. So why
So-
don't you tell the audience what's coming up for them?
Monday, December 18th, we play Mountain Ridge High School at 7 at Mountain Ridge High School. Thursday, December 21st, we play home at 7:15. Looking forward to that game. Phantom Metal Christmas Tournament. Friday and Saturday, December 29th and 30th. Shalom plays McConnellsburg at 6. Thursday, January 4th, and at Maryland School of the Deaf at 6:30.
Yeah, so I kind of ran those words together for you. So that Phantom Metal Christmas Tournament, Shalom will play Friday night against McConnellsburg at 6 p.m. And then depending on if they win or lose that game, that determines when they play on Saturday, December 30th. So in that Phantom Metal tournament, obviously Phantom Metal's hosting it, so they're in that tournament. Shalom and McConnellsburg are in that tournament, and typically in the past it's been Maryland School for the Deaf, but I found out from Mr. Roseman that they're no longer in this tournament, and at Faith Christian Academy, that's the school that's in the MDC, will be the fourth team in the Phantom Metal tournament. So Shalom will, depending on if they win or lose against McConnellsburg, it will determine what they do on Saturday, December 30th. But it'll be interesting because Shalom plays McConnellsburg to start that tournament, and they'll just be playing McConnellsburg the week before here at home.
So
they'll see McConnellsburg almost within a week of each
Yeah,
other.
that's-
So that's a little close, but
yeah,
it's not the NBA. It doesn't get
No.
chippy at all, does it? In high
it's
school
not
basketball.
like it's a double header kind of. But
A little bit like that, yeah.
double header.
Yeah, so lots of exciting things coming up for basketball, and then like the varsity boys. I've gone to that Phantom Metal Christmas tournament the last several years, and it is a fun event. Traveling up to Phantom Metal and just.
I've never
seeing some
seen
good-
the Phantom Metal Gym. I've never been in there.
You've
but-
never been into Phantom Metal?
Yeah, I've
Gym?
been around like in the soccer fields because we had a tournament there, but I've never been in Phantom Metal.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
tiny.
Tiny.
Yeah, and the one end is open into like their cafeteria, so you can sit there and eat some concessions while you watch the game. That's pretty cool. But I think they did do some renovations to the court not too long ago. It used to be even, it wasn't very wide even. Like I don't even know if you could hardly even shoot a three-pointer in the corner because there wasn't enough room between the sideline and the three-point line. But I think they did some changes there to help with that. And it's just an exciting tournament. So if you have some time there, December 29th and 30th, go up there and cheer on the Shalom teams, and as well as the other teams that participate in that tournament. So anything else you want to add?
No, I think
Yeah.
we about said it all.
Well, we had one thing we wanted to talk about a
the
little bit.
PIAA.
PIAA, that announcement came out yesterday. So it looks like Shalom is moving in that direction. At this point, we don't really have a time period, but the board gave approval to move forward with that. And like I was telling Jack before we came on the air, scheduling wise, it's probably a little bit hard to maybe do that in this upcoming year, but maybe Mr. Roseman will work his magic and make that happen. But we hope to have some more information about more details on the PIAA, but the exciting news is that's the direction we're going, and I think that will be good for our school and just give us the opportunity to offer more sports to our growing enrollment here at Shalom. So that's pretty exciting, and we're excited about that. But so anything else you want to add?
No. I think we said it all.
All right. Well, I appreciate you helping us out, Jack. Yep. It's been a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys out there enjoyed it as we brought you up to speed on where we're at here in the basketball seasons at Shalom and how they're going, and be our last podcast before the Christmas, Jack.
Yeah,
so we'll wish everybody a Merry Christmas out there.
Merry Christmas.
And we'll be back here in 2024 and heading towards our halfway.
15th podcast. That's
15th, yeah.
That's a lot.
That is a lot. We have fun with it, and I appreciate you helping me out.
Yep.
So, yeah, Merry Christmas, everybody, and we'll see you back here in 2024.
Thanks for listening to the Shalom Sports Podcast. If you enjoyed today's content, please hit the subscribe button. That will notify you of future content.